Join me this and every Tuesday at 7 to 8:30 p.m. as we discuss various interesting topics and take a look at the current happenings on our island and in our region. Just before you go to bed, let's touch on the points with your host, Connie J.E., right here on Flashpoint Radio.
Yes, yes, and welcome to Just Before You Got Your Bed. I'm your girl Connie J.E., and it is so amazing to be a part of this work. And I'm so appreciative of the fact that you share this time with me. So, oh no, do. How things? I know some of you had amazing lunches today. Yes, you're welcome. Will it happen again? I will let you know. Yes. So today, we give God thanks because of his amazing grace, of how good he has been. I know it has been a bit of a struggle for a lot of persons, a lot of obstacles we've been facing, and times of discouragement has come upon us. But one of the great things that I have learned in my short space of life is that God does some amazing things. He works things out in such a way that it baffles the mind. I mean, when him set up the thing and the thing sort out and you reflect, you'll be like, trust me, had I done it, it wouldn't have been done so well. And sometimes we're going through the process and we're saying, God, what happened? I can't see you. What go on? God, where's your hand? How come them I get away with that something? God, you not see. But he sees, he hears, and he understands. And even the things that we can't share, the things we can't share, sometimes the things we can't even say, or we don't even want to say them out loud, he understands the heart. And that is why I'm so glad to be a part of Flashpoint Radio, because here we understand, because we've gone through and we're going through some things as well as a family, and because of that we know you are extended family. You're faced with certain things, and so we are now gearing to be, we've geared ourselves to be the hands and feet of God, and so we bring you good vibes. Absolutely. Good vibes from God. We give you music that's uplifting, we bring young radio personalities like myself, just 27 years old. Yes, indeed. We want to ensure we we meet all age categories here at Flashpoint. So I'm one of the young ones, and so glad to be able to chat with you. And we bring you what's current, what's relevant, what's happening, and of course a little what's hot, you know what I mean? And so, just want to say thank you so much for being a part of Flashpoint. And trust me, Flashpoint is going places. Flashpoint is not just here at home. We love you here at home. Thank you so much for supporting us. But home, Grand Cayman, the Cayman Islands, has propelled us to the rest of the world. Yes, we are in Africa, we are in Australia, we are in the US Virgin Islands, we are in Europe, Saudi Arabia. Yes, we are in Nicaragua. Hope I pronounce that correctly, Nicaragua, and we are, of course, in Jamaica. We're in the US of A. We are in Canada. We are in our motherland, Britain. And we are just so happy for those persons who even with the time difference, they either, pre-record us so they can listen to us later, and or they stay up and they tune in the very time just before you got your bed is on, and other programs as well from Flashpoint. We just want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you. And please note, we are live on YouTube. We are also live on Facebook. So please go ahead, like, subscribe, and share. Because by sharing, what you're doing is assisting the work of God to be done. And he did say that the gospel would reach to all the ends of the earth as a witness, and then shall the end come. And we see that we are at the end of time right now. Things are winding down. So assist Flashpoint in getting the message across by sharing, subscribing, and of course liking. And we also want to hear from you, so go ahead and put your comments there. And if you want any of us to reach out to you, we're more than happy to do so. Yes, there are a few people I want to shout out to. I want to shout out to my sister Marlene Smith Parry. Yes, she celebrates her birthday today. Don't ask me her age. She's younger than I am by birth. Absolutely, there's no disputing that. But so if I'm 27, you can figure out Marlene's age. So I want to say, Marlene, happy birthday. I do hope you had a great day today, and tonight will be extra special and exciting. I want to say happy birthday. Well, it's a birthday that's he should have been in Cayman, in Grand Cayman today, but he's in Little Cayman. So he's still not back on the Grand Cayman Rock, but he is in Little Cayman. And I want to say happy birthday to a special guy, Myron. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I wish you a lot of Foster's gift card, money towards your light bill, and money towards your fuel. And on top of that, that you are saved in the arms of Jesus. I wish you all the best for your birthday. Mikey, shout out again. Flashpoint love you so much. Althea, Flashpoint loves you so much. Mr. CM, he's there not feeling so good, but tuning in. Want to say hello to you and to my mom and my brother Elder Racine, who is away. And today he sent me a video. Mom sent me a video of him in his new ride. If only you know what the new ride was, trust me. Yes, it has 4 wheels, but it's not a car. And he was just having too much fun. I don't understand it. What you call them, look at something, like when you go to the supermarket, and for persons who have problem walking, we call that something there. That like a driving something in a supermarket.
I think it would be the scooter.
You look at scooter business,
Scooter,
yes,
yeah.
but them
so.
have the seat and everything, and them a drive around and do him thing and catch off to the side like a real otters. So I want to say shout out to him. And, little things, it's so much. It's so exciting, little things, because when we look back to a few months ago where he was and how we walked through the valley of the shadow of death, and it impacted our lives so much. I do understand when persons have family members that are sick, and the outlook, the prognosis is not even fair to find, but looks quite tragic. This looks negative. You are compassed about with every doubt and thought and fear. But I say hallelujah to King Jesus, because he's still in the healing business. And to be able to see my brother, making fun with a scooter, saying it's his new ride, being able to walk, He's in his right mind. He's able to eat and keep food down. He's gaining weight. I'm telling you, it is indeed a miracle. And I want to say to you, going through this, if you are faced with these same circumstances, do know that you are not alone. You're never alone, and God is with you, and your miracle is on the way. All right. So stay tuned. I'm saying so glad that you're sharing the time with us. We're, having good vibes. We'll chat a little bit later on in the show. We'll talk a little bit about Global Youth Day. Yes, youths are faced with so much pressure. But here's the fun thing, youth also give pressure. When we come back, we'll go into our weekly news in review, and then we'll chat a little bit about Global Youth Day coming up this Sabbath, March the 16th. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Join me this and every Tuesday at 7 to 8:30 p.m. as we discuss various interesting topics and take a look at the current happenings on our island and in our region. Just before you go to bed, let's touch on the points with your host, Connie J.E., right here on Flashpoint Radio.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4, Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
This is your weekly news in review. I'm Constance Ebanks. Cabinet has picked 5 new national symbols as part of its goal to strengthen the Cayman Islands' identity and protect its cultural heritage. But as the government tries to unite communities around these new symbols, one of the choices may cause concern, namely turtle stew as the national dish, even though sea turtles are endangered species at serious risk of poaching. Formalizing the consumption of turtle meat could undermine efforts to conserve this iconic marine creature. In a release about the new national symbols, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage described turtle stew as a unique culinary dish that is reflective of the Cayman Islands' rich maritime heritage. Other new symbols include swanky as a national drink, which the ministry said is made from brown sugar and civil orange or bitter orange, which has a distinctive bitter and sour taste. Caymanian heavy cake, traditionally made from cassava, yam, or sweet potato, is now the national dessert. And the Cayman quadrille is a national dance which, according to the ministry, embodies the spirit and rhythm of Caymanians. However, it appears that selecting the national costume proved a little more difficult, and the ministry listed a range of outfits worn decades ago. These new symbols will be added to the existing list, which includes the Cayman parrot, the silver-thatched palm, and the wild banana orchid, all of which are endemic species. The additional national symbols will also form part of a promotional campaign. The police arrested a man on Saturday in connection with the mass shooting at the Ed Bush Stadium last month, but he has since been bailed with conditions pending further investigation. The 21-year-old man from West Bay, where the shooting occurred during a Premier League football match on Sunday the 25th of February, 2 other men had previously been arrested in relation to the shooting, including the suspected lone gunman. They have also been released on bail. The RCIPS has increased visible patrols and put more officers from the Firearms Response Unit on the road to meet the commitment made by senior management to bring those responsible to justice. The police continue to appeal for information and witnesses to the gang-related violence in which 7 people were wounded when the shooter opened fire at a crowd of people on the touchline watching the game just after the halftime whistle was blown. Robert Jones, one of several members who have all been reappointed to the Labour Appeals Tribunal, LAT, has taken up the chairmanship after serving previously as the deputy. Tricia McElroy and Ryan Charles have been appointed as deputies, while Isadora Eden, Dorothy Davis, Garth Clark, Betty Burrard, Richard Lewis and Janet James have all been appointed as members. Cabinet appoints members to the Labour Appeals Tribunal for a period of 1 year from the date of appointment in accordance with Section 77 of the Labour Act 2021 revision. The current members, whose reappointment was announced on March 8, have been appointed to serve with immediate effect until December 2024, suggesting that their reappointment has been backdated. Pressure from the business community led the Minimum Wage Advisory Committee, MWAC, to recommend an increase of the national base pay of just $2.75 CI per hour, rising from the current meager $6 to $8.75 CI per hour, even though their research and data from the Economics and Statistics Office indicate that businesses could manage an increase of $10 CI without undermining the economy. But MWAC chairperson Lamel Hurlston said they recommended the lower rate due to the risk of businesses passing on the cost to customers. According to the report, while the committee finalized in October but was only made public this week, in their submissions, many larger employers, in particular the major supermarkets, said they could absorb as much as $12 an hour without passing the cost on to shoppers. Police are investigating what they believe is an organized grooming ring based in Georgetown, where adult men are luring vulnerable young girls away from school and guardians. Last month, following a report of 3 missing teenage girls, an RCIPS school liaison officer obtained information showing communication from a man asking a girl to meet at a Georgetown park. Officers conducted an operation resulting in the arrest at the park of a 29-year-old man for attempted kidnapping on the Section 218B of the Penal Code. They then searched a nearby home and found the 3 missing girls. The RCIPS says in a press release that investigations so far suggested that the arrested man is part of an organized group of adults grooming young girls. They are seeking information from the community about young people who have been targeted by this type of activity, as officers seek to apprehend and prosecute those involved. This type of behavior is unacceptable and should not be tolerated in our society, said Superintendent Roger Williams. He noted it not only as a significant and often permanent impact on the future aspirations of the young people involved, but also demonstrate a concerning moral breakdown where we have groups of adults in our society believing it's acceptable to take part in such base and malevolent behavior. This past week, the police investigated 5 more reports of missing persons. 4 of the 5 people have been located and returned to their residences. However, ongoing investigations into the circumstances surrounding their whereabouts while they were missing suggest that in a number of the cases, adults grooming juveniles was a contributing factor, the RCIPS said. Work on the roads and the paving of parts of Georgetown is moving to the next stage of the National Roads Authority's Traffic Diversion Plan, which is part of the Central Business District Enhancement Project. According to an update from the Infrastructure Ministry, work will be carried out in sections of about 50 feet at a time to help minimize disruption to businesses and pedestrians in the area, but will affect motorists traveling along Edward Street, Main Street, Cardinal Avenue, and Dr. Roy's Drive. We have been pleased with the flow of vehicle traffic through central Georgetown throughout the first 2 phases of the traffic diversion plan, and we are confident that the NRA's approach, which has broken down the works into smaller sections, will continue to keep the project teams moving as quickly as possible through the Central Business District, said Project Manager Keisha Caldiner from the Public Works Department. Since the project began earlier this year, CUC and Water Authority Cayman have completed work to the underground infrastructure along the south section of Edward Street, with upgrades now continuing north of 4th Street. The core project team and key stakeholders, including the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transport and Development, Robson Construction, CUC, WAC, and RCIPS, continue to meet weekly to discuss progress on the project and feedback. Every member is actively involved and has influence over their area of responsibility, making sure the project runs smoothly and any concerns are resolved promptly and effectively. Officials stated this in their release about the project, which began in 2020. And this has been your weekly news in review. I'm Constance Ebanks.
it from me. Laska food drink is the best nutrition for the whole family. It provides protein, which keeps us healthy, and calcium, great for building strong bones and teeth. Laska food drink has vitamins A and C, which helps to prevent illnesses. I think that's what they call protecting the immune system. I'm never short on energy since it's fortified with iron. Nutrition never tasted so good.
Lasco food drink. Good, healthy, fun!
Lasco food drink.
Yes, yes. Welcome back to Just Before You Go Your Bed. Indeed, Lasco is, it's a famous drink. It's been around, since I was a younger age. It's just the other day. But still, they have quite a bit of reputation here. And, so as I think about Lasco, I think about Elder Rowan Riley. The go-to man for Lasco. So shout out to him and the family. And just to let you know, Elder Riley will have to pay me for this this ad, when I big him up, you see. But if you need your Lasco, you just check Elder Rowan Riley. Yes, he's the one to go to for your Lasco. And tonight we'll be talking about youth pressure. And as we think about that and think about all the pressures that our teens or young adults they go through, it is so good to share some positive. I just want to say shout out to Elder Jerome Smith, who have decided to share as well, back home, the community where he's from, where they grew up. He has decided to give back to that community to impact them, and he has done so through the schools, bringing supplies, assisting them with all the necessary tools for their primary and basic school learning needs. And I think it's such a great thing when we remember where we're coming from, and if God has blessed you with a little bit, you share that little, because little is much when God is in it. And I want to say kudos to him for that, because when we have adults thinking of the welfare of the future, and the children are our future, when you think about them and care about them and give them the best and offering them the best, it does and says so much, not only to your character, but the fact that you are walking with the Lord and that you have a good heart. We just read in the news that we have an adult grooming ring right here at home. You hear these things, you read these things on the news, and you hear all the stories, but it does something to you when it hits home. And Cayman is the place where those things are never tolerated. These things, we're like, these things don't happen here. And so when the reality hits you that you're like, this small tender place, you're bringing that kind of atrocity to the shores of the Cayman Islands. Absolutely, we are totally behind the law. We are totally behind the enforcers of the law to get these persons behind bars. They should be taken out of society and taken out in such a way that an impact is left behind, that others may think twice in doing that. As a community, we cannot sit idly by. And allow these things to happen, because after a while it will overrun you, wherein your voice cannot be heard. You're living in a community of fear. Things are happening, but you dare not say anything, or there will be repercussions from the perpetrators. You have to take your stand now and bend the tree now. Don't be silent. If you know something, say something, irrespective of who it is. Could be the king himself. You say something. Let us look after the future. Let's look after our children. And with that said, we'll be talking a little bit about Global Youth Day. And Global Youth Day will be this Saturday, March 16. So don't go away. I just want to play this song. It's one of my favorite, also one of my brother's favorite, Elder Jamil Hides, from the West Bay SDA Church, and also Mikey's favorite, Don't Give Up on Me Yet. And as we think about the youths, I know some of them may feel like, society doesn't care, the community doesn't care, my family doesn't care. I am just here. I am one that's classified as a vulnerable. And sometimes people sink into what they're labeled. But I want to say, even if society says you're vulnerable, God says that you're amazingly strong. And when you're feeling like you want to give up and give in, because I know circumstances really press you to just want to throw in the towel, I want to remind you today that the King is coming. The King will come. He is on his way. You're not alone. And even though it seems like everything bad could be happening, remember you're not alone, and he will vindicate you. I want to say something out there, and I'm hoping the message can be sent to perpetrators or persons who have these desires, to hurt children. And God said it would have been better if you weren't born. And he says, any of you that hurts a child, hurts his children, it is better that you put a millstone around your neck and just jump off out of sea. Because trust me, when he comes and he faces off with you and you have to give an account of what you did, brother, sister, pretty. I would not want to be you on my greatest day nor on my worst day, because society may want to spin this narrative that God is not real and that we are our own gods, and God is no longer our father, but we can call him our mother. We want to change the day of worship from when God says from the Sabbath to the first day of the week. We want to turn God's things around. We want to say same-sex relationships are okay, that we were born that way. And we want to say all these things that are contrary to the character of God. But I want to say, even if you think I'm a fanatic, even if you think I am ridiculous, listen to this ridiculous person. God is real, and he has set some standards, and he's going to hold you to them. And so this is what the youths of the Seventh-day Adventist Church will be putting out this coming Saturday. We'll talk a little bit more after this.
I'm trying, so don't give up on me yet. And God, don't leave me here alone. I know I need to grow still, and I'm trying, but don't leave me here alone. I know I've come so far, but got so far to go. And with these brand new scars and this broken heart, it's hard to really know if there's a reason and if I'll ever see it. But I wanna believe it. So don't give up on me. Yeah. God, I know it makes no sense. You love me time and time again, but I still need reminding. Yeah, I know it makes no sense. I know I've come so far, but got so far to go. And with these brand new scars and this broken heart, it's hard to really know if there's a reason and if I'll ever see it. But I wanna believe it. So don't give up on me. Yeah. Don't give up on me. 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 God, I know I'm not the same, but you knew that I would change, and I think that you're trying to tell me it's okay. I know I've come so far, but got so far to go. And with these brand new scars and this broken heart, it's hard to really know if there's a reason and if I'll ever see it. But I wanna believe it. So don't give up on me. Don't give up on me, Don't give up on me.
Welcome back to Just Before You Go Your Bed. Tonight, we'll be talking a little bit about youth pressure. But as we look on, the pressures that youths face, we don't only want to stay in the negative. We want to highlight a few things and bring to the forefront some of the things, peer pressures that the youth face today. But we have good news. The youths of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, right here in Grand Cayman, decided that they will not take youth pressure, but they will give the pressure. And, it's so exciting to see the youths come together. Such an amazing army of God, when they come together to face off with the enemy. Will they win? Absolutely. Now, whispered Suki. Quick, while the clerk's not looking. Heart pounding, Leah leaned against the store's unattended and slid 2 tubes of lipstick into her purse. She looked bored and totally detached as she followed her friends Suki and Jill out of the store, but inside she felt panicked. I can't believe you made me do that, Leah wailed. Relax, said Jill. Everybody does it sometimes, and we didn't make you do it. She said nothing. But Leah knew she wouldn't have done that on her own. She just had a big dose of peer pressure. How many of us can remember when we were right in that same position as Leah? When we were younger, normally our parents would be the ones to kind of, find the friends them. Other children go out at a certain time and, parents want you and them they want them to be friends, and because, they're looking at the family's reputation. So good family, so you have a friend with them. So, even if the play dates were not arranged, our parents would ensure either we're going to the same school, we are in the same group at church or whatever, just to ensure that we had that positive influence around, because even then parents were mindful of the influences that they faced when they were younger. And of course we don't want the cycle, so we always watch out. But as we go to high school, we are a little bit away from family every day, so most of our hours as children are spent in school. So here now we have formulated groups. We depending. We want to be with these set of people because these people mimic what I believe that I should be or how I think. So we get into our little groups, our little cliques, and so our friends now become, our extended family. So of course, greater the influence, you spend more time with them. So if you find yourself with a group of people or friends that, they seem strong, they're not easily pushed around, no one can bully them, but they smoke. And you say, oh, I don't smoke, that's not tolerated. But if you're around them for a while, how long will it take before you start smoking and other things? We talk about this adult grooming of juveniles, and you may find that persons tend to flock with their kind. So if you feel that you are vulnerable, you feel a certain way, you feel ostracized, you'll have your little clique. Here is where the influence of an adult. And then when that one friend is under the influence, they'll pass it on to you. And, and sometimes you're drawn into this lifestyle, not really because you yourself liked it, but because of the peer pressure. Now, peer pressure or peer influence isn't all bad. So we know that we'll have peer pressure for smoking, for sexual immorality, for drinking, doing drugs, sculling class, all kind of things, and some very bad things. But I love the fact when we have a peer pressure that pushes you or pushes an individual to have great friendships, give them positive examples, give them feedback and advice. I love friends that is able to say, hey, the goal for this semester or the goal for this quarter is that we pass every test, and to be able to do that, let's go at it together. I love when a set of people can say, God is real, So some of the things that you are bringing here, we won't tolerate it. We're not flowing with you. We respect God. So we're not going to even run any jokes, no ridiculous jokes. If you're giving jokes, take God out of that. So persons already know that you are set on the foundation of God and that you'll not compromise. And sometimes as youth, even adults, you feel that you're set apart. But hear what God say, you're supposed to be peculiar. You're supposed to be a royal priesthood. You're supposed to be different. So different is good. And so the Cayman Islands Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, with the youth director, Sister Merle Watkins, and the entire team of youths here in the Cayman Islands, have decided that this Saturday, this Sabbath, March the 16th, 2024, will be Global Youth Day, and they will be impacting their city. Our city of course is Georgetown. The meeting place will be at 9 a.m. at the government building. Yes, where the administrative building is, next to Glass House. Glass House nice, but I remember when Glass House was a thing. Love the building with the whole heap of glass. Made sense. And so we'll be meeting there, for worship and directives. And you're saying to yourself, Lux is a ton load of youths that are Seventh-day Adventists here in the Cayman Islands. And of course, parents are coming, leader chaperones will be there. So where are we going to park? So you'll park in the government parking behind the passport office that's cleared for parking. And so what they will be doing is that they will be impacting their zone. So what they're doing is friendship evangelism, and this is what we're talking about, the good peer pressure, the good influence. So they'll be doing friendship evangelism, and so they will be impacting their city. Now, we want to let you know that we will be intentional with our prayers and our efforts and our actions. We'll be praying for our city because, like I said, so many things are popping up now. Children are being targeted by adults. This moral downhill slide is impacting Cayman, and here is where the youth of the Cayman Islands is saying, we are not taking this sitting down. We are not just going to idly stand by and watch our country being taken over by the enemy. We are going to be intentional with our prayers and with our efforts and with our actions. And so The youths, they have said one of their main things is that they are praying that persons choose Jesus. They want the youths of the Cayman Islands to have hope, to let them know it is still there, that all they have to do is just grasp on it. And once they choose Christ, God's protection, of course, surpasses all things. Mind you, we want you to understand that total trust in God is paramount. Total trust. Does it mean that bad things won't happen to you? Of course. Because guess what? If I was with a gang, or I was in a gang, and my gang, they say, oh, we protect with one another. You see me? This our crew. We go all out for we crew. If anybody this, the whole of we are got to it. We now make nobody violate the crew. And that's your family now. So but when you decide that, hey, the lifestyle of this gang or this group, I no longer appreciate it. It's not me. I want something better. I want something different. I want to choose God. I want to get an education. I just don't want to just die here on the streets. I don't want it to be such a negative impact. Do you think your gang is going to feel good that you left? Absolutely not. So they are going to do everything to make you stay. And one of the things that we see evidences has shown is that fear is what they use to keep you. Maybe, they start targeting you, bullying you, of course, and all of that. It is the same way when you have left the enemy's camp and have gone to Jesus. Satan said, what he left? Yo, we're gonna target he or she. So when you come to Christ, don't expect, I have God's protection, so it's gonna be a bed of roses. No, it's not. I want you to understand that you are in a warfare. I want you to understand that the enemy hates you. The enemy doesn't want you to make it to the kingdom because he can't make it anymore. He's totally out, and he doesn't want you to gain what God has prepared for you. So understand that when you come in, that the devil is going to attack you even more. But you must understand total trust in God and remember that God's protection is around you. These are some of the core areas that the youth of the Seventh-day Adventist Church will be portraying and putting forth in our community, praying for these things this Sabbath, March 16th. And you must be saying to yourself, is that it? Just Sabbath? No. So this will be happening in the morning, and in the afternoon the youths will begin their youth week of prayer at the Flow parking lot on Eastern Avenue as we close off Global Youth Day. So in the morning, we'll be at the government building. We'll be impacting our city. Then in the afternoon, as we close off the day, we will be at the Flow parking lot on Eastern Avenue. You know that one there right across from Funky Tanks? Yes, that's where we're going to be impacting them. And for that afternoon, we have a dynamic speaker, daughter of the soil, Pastor Roche Riley. She will be our speaker right there as we close off Global Youth Day at Flow's parking lot. And again, we are showing you, we want you to come out to be a part of this. So when you listen to Pastor Roche Riley, and when you look at her, here is a daughter born and raised in the Cayman Islands, got good community support, parents decided we're going to raise our children in the admonition of the Lord. And she took it. Good influence. And here she will be our speaker. One of us, one of the youths, is showing you that it can be done. Was it an easy road for her? She had no obstacles? You think she had no obstacles? Listen, she had one of the most obstacles. Tons of obstacles. But guess what? With the proper environment, being, deciding for oneself, I'm not going to do drugs. I'm not going to be promiscuous. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to hold to that which is true. I want my life to be better. I want to be an example to my fellow Caymanians. And here, Pastor Roche Riley did that and placed herself in a position, eyes to the front, a wonderful pathfinder. And she decided she's going to do her work with the help of God, and she became our pastor. She will be our speaker that evening. And so, and so we are inviting you out to be a part of that, because we're all about community church. We're all about community church. And so our youths want to let you know that friendship evangelism is one of the flags that we'll be waving 2024 and beyond. But it still doesn't end there, because we want you to join us at the Coalwood Beach in Boddentown on Sunday evening as we mix it up. Yes, we're going to have, we're going to just be together and enjoy ourselves together, doing fun activities together, praying together, talking together, asking the relevant questions and getting the down-to-earth answers. We are not here to pretty up the thing. We are here to make it realistic. We're here to say, this is what we know is happening. How do we combat what we face as youths? Because it's not just like Leah, where the two friends have her steal from the store. It's also more. And then, as the week continues, we go virtual. And so together we will explore God's word through the week of prayer with our illustrious speaker. And then we'll pull the curtains down on Sabbath, March 23rd at the North Side Civic Center at 9:15 a.m. as we celebrate Youth Homecoming. It's gonna be a grand time. So a Flashpoint will be there. We'll be bringing to you this exciting phenomena that's happening here in the Cayman Islands with the youths of the Cayman Islands. And so we are inviting all of you, even the young at heart. Yes, because I remember the other day our president, Dr. Ivor Ari, he stated at one of our functions the other day that the age of the youth stops at 30. Yeah, I remember one time he used to be 35, but him said 30, so I don't know if him missed the 5, and so that is why I'm glad I'm 27, you know what I mean? So it is, at 35. Mikey G say you would stop at 30. I don't know if I want to agree with that, because I remember when it was 35, and so if you are 35, you are a youth, come out. If you are 27, 28 like myself, you fall into my age bracket, you are a youth, come out. For those of you who are older and you feel young at heart, that age is just the number. Please come on out and join us. I remember on March 23rd at the Northside Civic Center at 9:15 a.m. We'll be celebrating Youth Homecoming. And so we are inviting all our friends to come out and worship with us. It is said that a new friend is valuable, not true? But guess what? An old friend is priceless. And we are also extending an invitation that you will join us virtually for our Youth Week of Prayer, both in person and online, as we have our special guest speaker who will be Pastor Terry Tannis. Pastor Terry Tannis. He is our new Union Youth Director. He will be our special guest speaker, and so we're looking forward for you to join us. The impact of the negative impact of peer pressure, it will happen. We'll never get away from that because the enemy is around. But the influence of good peer pressure it is such an uplifting thing. Just think about it. Good, because normally when you hear peer pressure, you think negative. And no one ever thinks that peer pressure can be positive. And so here we're breaking the stereotype to say to you, there is positive peer pressure. And, if you had cancer, and someone said to you, Connie J. he has the cure for cancer, and you call me up and you come and see me, and I say to you, the cure for cancer in all its forms is actually snake venom. And you have to drink this 4 times a month for the next 6 months, and the cancer is totally gone. Would you say to me then, that is ridiculous? Maybe at first you think that is ridiculous, okay, like snake venom for cancer. But you see, when the doctor say, oh, you move from stage 2 to 3, and you see when that pain hits you when it comes to cancer, listen to me, you're willing to try every and anything to save your life, because it is in us to preserve life. No one wants to die. And you will do whatever it takes to get the snake venom, so that for the next 6 months, you'll be drinking it 4 times per month to get rid of your cancer. That's a form of pressure, because I am telling you this is the thing to do. I'm influencing you to say this is the thing to save your life, and you're willing to do it. Now here our youths are giving you positive pressure to say to you, we have the cure for the sin disease. And we are telling you that these are the things you ought to do, and that you only need to come to one person. Come to the Father God. Come to Him through Jesus Christ. And the blood of Jesus will wash away your sin, and you will be saved and live forever. That is what our youths are doing. They are putting on the pressure, positive pressure, so that your lives can be saved. So the invitation from the youth director of the Cayman Islands Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Sister Merle Watkins, and all of her team, is that you come out. The invitation is sent from them, and that come out, all the churches, come out, all the youth and the youth at heart, come out this Saturday, this Sabbath, March the 16th, as we come and we have a catawampus time in Jesus Christ under the banner of friendship evangelism. We want you to have Jesus. We want you to be cured of that sin sickness, disease. Yes. And so for the entire week, we'll be focusing on 7 prayer points. We'll be, gearing the youths for a better tomorrow. And as we see moral decline is taking place right here in the Cayman Islands, will you not support a positive pressure in turning the tides around? Stay tuned as we close off. We'll be right back and with closing thoughts. And I just want to reiterate what Sister Merle Watkins is asking. She's asking for all of the adults to positively impact the lives of our children. We're asking you to do all that you can to assist them to have a good life. We should not be aware that a child, a teen, a young adult is faced with quite a bit of adversity and turn a blind eye. This Sabbath, Global Youth Day, and the entire Global Youth Week is geared to say we are here for you and we are willing to extend the hand of friendship. And whatever you need, we are here to assist, and we will not turn a blind eye. Will you come out and be a part of us? Join us as we put that positive pressure on this Sabbath at the government building at 9 a.m.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Yes, and welcome back to Just Before You Go Your Bed. Connie J.E. right here with you. Yes, indeed. And we're talking about the positive impact of youth pressure, that it doesn't have to always be a negative connotation, but that once the youths are working for God, working with Him, absolutely the pressure is positive. So for all the for those of you who will be celebrating your birthday on March 16th and you are here in the Cayman Islands, come on out to the government building on your birthday, and there will be a surprise for you. Just ask for Connie J.E. Ask for me. There will be a surprise for you. And you know what? I want to remind you, just as we are talk, that Flashpoint have some name brand things, Listen, we carry the only and the only authenticated branded eyewear. I don't know how people who are aware manage to allow their eyes to sit behind any kind of eyewear. You can't go out in this beautiful sunny day in this kind of climate in the Cayman Islands and not have the branded Flashpoint eyewear. So, for Global Youth Day, come and talk to us, Flashpoint, you know what I mean? And, you can, remember now, just leave your comments and your questions on our YouTube page, our Facebook page. We'll get back to you. Use that platform to find out how you can get your special eyewear. Flashpoint eyewear. This is authentic, branded, top of the line. We're not talking about nothing pia. You see me? Absolutely. And we going out in style, grand style at Global Youth Day. Listen, if you see something, say something. Do not leave a child out there to fend and defend themselves. You should protect them, adults. And for all the adults who are perpetrators, little pedophiles, we ask you in the name of Jesus to cease and desist the work of the enemy. Do not be caught up into this thing, because it will not be well with you when Jesus comes to take an account for you. You're going to have to pay for all the wrong you did. Let's save our children. Join us this Sabbath coming, March 16, for Global Youth Day, as we impact under the umbrella of friendship evangelism. And I want to give an update before we go on Natal. We is our JT. We call him JT. He's our friend, a 14-year-old friend in Jamaica, battling. I keep saying osteocarcinoma, but it's osteocarcinoma. Listen, it's bone cancer. Bear with me, because I said osteocarcinoma and I keep saying that, and Mom said no, Sister Connie, is not osteocarcinoma, but it's osteocarcinoma or something like that. So it's very close, but basically he has bone cancer. And he had a couple of weeks ago, it was to the point wherein the tumors were in the right leg up until up above the right knee, and so they had to amputate his leg. I was a little bit, I was saying, God, how come you make them cut off his foot and whatever? But it is so amazing how resilient children are. You just have to give them the right environment. And the right environment don't mean pretty house, Right environment means to bring them up in the admonition of the Lord, teaching them that their Father is indeed with them, concerned about them, and will defend them. You know what he said? Because Mommy was saying, I don't want the leg to be amputated. Can we find a way to keep his leg? He's 14, young man or whatever. Do you know what JT said, listeners? JT said, the Bible says anything that offends you, cut it off. And I was so taken aback. I said, what? And JT said, yes. I don't want to sit here and allow the cancer to use my leg as the road to spread itself all over my body. So if I cut it off and it helps to stay the cancer and I have a better chance of surviving, I want to do it. What faith, and I was so taken because here I was a little disappointed, and I'm like, oh my. And Mom and I, we were like, we want the leg, and he says, hey, take the leg off. I don't want an avenue for the cancer to spread in my body. Cut it off. And I tell you, you remember we were saying to you that Natel was in so much pain that, from 6 p.m. From 6 p.m. in the evening straight back till 6 a.m. he don't sleep. The pain just hitting him. From they amputated the leg, JT gets better sleep. Better sleep. Before you couldn't even budge him. If you ever rock him, oh my goodness, the pain would just be unbearable. I've called him and he couldn't even speak. He's like, Sister Connie, the pain. He couldn't even talk to me. You don't want to bump him. Now he's able to move around. Today, however, remember I told you 2 weeks ago that he had to have the port, had to put the port into his heart to protect him. That was done. And as well, he's admitted today, March 12th, he's admitted at the University Hospital for his chemo treatment. And for those of us who know how this cancer thing and chemo treatment go, it's going to be a uphill climb and it's going to be rough. So we're asking you to pray for him. Pray that God will give him strength. Pray that God will give him healing. Pray that God will keep his mind and his heart, geared on the promises of God. Send uplifting messages for JT and his family. Cousins, siblings, they're seeing him every day, seeing when he's totally ill, when the pain hits the body. Send uplifting words for them, pray for them. And as well, go on the Real Helping Hands. His profile is there. Please go on there and contribute. Donate, so that we're able to help the family to alleviate the pressure of the expenses that comes with getting the cure for this disease. He still has another MRI to do, and that's I think that's 99,000 Jamaican dollars. He needs medication, and the medication starting from today. I think it's because you pay for the surgery, and so all the medication that comes with the surgery is one money. But when you're in and recovery, but when you're now put in the hospital now for your progress, that's a different money, and that's $84,000 basically a day. So we're asking you to donate. Real Helping Hands, or you can reach out to myself or Mikey G, Flashpoint Radio. We're here at number 12 Plaza Venetia. If you can stop by when we're in and find ways to donate. I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have donated so far, donated funds, donated care packages, donated your time and prayer for him. We want to say to you as we leave that he that started a good work in you is faithful to complete it to the end. From our family here at Flashpoint Radio and Media to your family, we wish you the blessings of the Lord. We pray that God will go before you, be beside you, be behind you, that the Holy Spirit will hover o'er you. He'll be in your going out and in your coming in your sitting down, in your lying down, and in your rising up. We also pray that God will cover you, protect your family, and meet your needs. Until next time, same place, same time, just before you go to your bed. Connie J.E. telling you, I look forward to chatting with you again.
Join me this and every Tuesday at 7 to 8:30 p.m. as we discuss various interesting topics and take a look at the current happenings on our island and in our region. Just before you go to your bed, let's touch on the points with your host, Connie J.E., right here on Flashpoint Radio.